In a world where friendships come and go, where so much is shared for attention, and so little is truly held close, Taylor Swift and Selena Gomez have quietly shown us something rare: real friendship. Not the kind that's on every Instagram feed or red carpet, but the kind that lasts through years, through silence, through everything fame tries to take away. This is the story of two women who met as teenagers and stayed in each other's lives without needing to prove it. Here's what Selena and Taylor have taught us: not just about friendship, but about what it means to really be there for someone. Their story didn't begin with a headline or a performance or a viral moment. Taylor Swift and Selena Gomez met in a way that feels almost old-fashioned now, on a double date. Back then, they were teenagers. Selena was starring on Wizards of Waverly Place, and Taylor was just beginning to take her storytelling from country roots to a much wider world. Both of them were dating Jonas Brothers, a fleeting chapter. But something else happened that night, something lasting. A conversation turned into a connection, and that quiet beginning, awkward, unexpected, totally unplanned, was the start of a friendship that would go on to span more than a decade. In those early years, they were often seen laughing together at events, posing for backstage photos, or just being two girls trying to stay grounded while everything around them moved fast. But even then, their bond was different. It wasn't built on public appearances or collaborations. It was something softer, something safer. They weren't trying to be the most visible friendship in Hollywood. They were just trying to be real. And from that first meeting on, their friendship was never loud, but it was steady. It grew behind the scenes, through shared values, private moments, and a kind of mutual understanding that didn't need to be explained. In those first few years, they were often seen laughing in interviews, sharing inside jokes backstage, or posing for blurry photos at after-parties. But even in the spotlight, their connection felt personal, something they weren't performing for the world. What stood out most wasn't how often they appeared together, but how effortlessly they seemed to understand one another. While the industry around them was loud, fast, and full of change, their friendship moved at its own rhythm. No big announcements, no sudden breakups or public makeups. Just a steady kind of presence, there when it mattered. They showed up for each other quietly. When Selena released new music, Taylor was already listening. When Taylor stepped back from the public eye, Selena defended her without hesitation. And while their friendship wasn't always visible, it was consistent. Over the years, they faced pressure, personal challenges, and countless rumors. But through it all, they chose to keep showing up for each other in the ways that counted. Not through headlines or hashtags, but through time, patience, and trust that didn't need to be explained. Maybe one of the quiet reasons their friendship has lasted so long is written in something even older than their careers. Taylor is a Sagittarius, a fire sign, bold, restless, full of motion and meaning. Selena is a Cancer, a water sign, intuitive, protective, quietly powerful. On paper, fire and water don't mix. One rages, the other retreats. One pushes forward, the other feels everything. But somehow, in them, it works. Taylor brings light. She's direct, curious, always reaching for something new. Selena brings calm. She feels the room before she speaks, and when she does, it matters. Together, they don't try to match each other. They balance. Selena has stood beside Taylor in moments when the world was too loud. Taylor has reminded Selena of her own strength, again and again. Their signs don't make them opposites. They make them a conversation, one that flows between energy and emotion, between spark and softness. Maybe they were never meant to be the same. Maybe they were meant to hold space for each other, exactly as they are. If you're looking for daily selfies or matching interviews, you won't find them here. Taylor and Selena don't show up for each other the way some friendships do. They show up in quieter ways, ways that don't chase attention, but hold meaning. Taylor might not flood her songs with names, but she invites Selena into her most private spaces, like the release party for the Tortured Poets Department, a room full of people who've seen her through it all. Selena doesn't make grand gestures online, but when she's asked about Taylor, her answer never wavers. "She's been my friend for over a decade," she said once. "She's family." There have been times when they were more distant, years when their paths didn't always cross in public, but the thread was never broken, and in the moments that mattered, they always returned, without making it a moment. That's the kind of friendship that grows with you, one that doesn't need to be performed to be real. They rarely talk in long interviews about each other. There are no dramatic tell-alls or emotional sit-downs. But when they do speak, it's often through music. Not in obvious ways, not in name, but in feeling. In Taylor's lyrics, there are lines that sound like echoes of a friend's voice, spoken in quiet rooms. "You're on your own, kid. You always have been." A reminder of strength, but also of the kind of friend who knows how hard that strength can feel. In Long Live, there's celebration, shared history, loyalty, belief. In The Archer, there's the fear of being misunderstood. The kind of fear you only show to someone who won't use it against you. And in Selena's Lose You to Love Me, we hear someone growing, breaking, healing, and choosing herself. It's not about Taylor, but it's music Taylor would understand deeply. They don't need to dedicate songs to each other. The friendship is already in the way they write, in the honesty, in the perspective, in the survival. Not every friendship is built to last forever. Some are loud and fast and leave just as quickly. But every once in a while, one comes along that stays, even when no one's watching. Taylor and Selena's friendship has changed over time. It's gone quiet. It's come back strong. But what's always been there is the choice to keep showing up. They've shown us that real friendship doesn't need to be perfect to be powerful. It can survive distance, silence, different seasons of life. That support doesn't have to be public to be real. That you don't have to be the same to belong beside each other. And maybe most of all, that in a world where so much is performed, it's still possible to build something honest, something lasting, something true. Thank you for watching this quiet little story about a friendship that didn't need to be loud to be real. If this video meant something to you, feel free to like or share it with someone who understands the kind of friendship Taylor and Selena represent. And if you'd like to stay for more stories like this, about Taylor, her lyrics, and the meaning behind them, you're always welcome here.